Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the video and image with text Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to actually use it. So if you haven't installed it yet, please refer to the separate video included in the package, and you also have access to a PDF with instructions. So to get started, head over to your theme editor, navigate to the page you want to add the section to, then over on the left, click on Add Section and search for the section, Video and Image with Text. All right. So over on the left, you have two blocks that you can add. You have media, which is this main media, which could be, we call it media because it's either image or video. And you have the secondary one, which is the one that hovers over the main one. So let's add some content. Clicking on the first one, up here, we could select image or video. Let's start with an image, and we'll select this image right over here. Then we can select another image. Let's go through all the other options. Here we have the option for video URL or uploading an MP4 that you added to the Shopify admin. I'll add a video to the secondary one, but it'll work just the same. And then you have options here for media dimensions. So here it's pulling in the original dimensions of the image, but you can choose to have it landscape, portrait, or square. So let's just keep it right now at original, which is basically portrait. We can add some corner radiuses to the media right over here. Then we have an option here for play icon and other options that are related to the video. I'll get to that right over here. So let's select secondary image. So up here, let's select video. And then right over here, you can either have a YouTube video or let's select an MP4 video to place above. Let's just choose this one for the sake of an example. There we go. Now, we can select, if you want to have the image not start in autoplay, you can have a poster image. So you can basically select an image like that, and then you see the play button and the poster image, so you can click to play whenever you'd like, or you could just remove it and it can do an autoplay by scrolling down here, and we can just select autoplay, loop video, and then we can even hide the controls so we don't have any controls when you hover over. Next, let's set first the dimensions. So here we have also landscape, but this is already landscape. We could choose portrait, or we can choose square. So let's just keep it at square for now. Now we have the styling. So we have a margin from the main media. So we have negative and positive values here in percentages. So if we move it all the way over to 10, then we have them actually separated. But the intention is that the image actually hovers over. So you could move this over and set it however you'd like. And as you can see, when you select the positioning of it, later we'll get into showing how we can enlarge this entire block, but it also enlarges or changes the size of this image in the background. Next, we have the media margin. So right now it's centered, but we can also move it up to the top corner or move it down and place it wherever we want. Let's just keep it, let's say, up here, something like that. And we can also enlarge the size of this media one, which of course reduces the size of the background image because we are limited to the maximum width of the entire section here. So I'll show you how we can play around with that, but for now, we can just keep it around this size. I think that looks pretty good. Let's make this a little bit, move that up a little bit more. There we go. All right. Here too, we can add corner radiuses for the image. And here we have drop shadow. So drop shadow, if we add a little bit more opacity so you can see really the shadow itself, so it gives a more feel, a 3D feel that it's hovering over. You can of course turn that off. If you'd like, you can enlarge the spread of it so it'll be bigger, giving the sense that it's a little bit higher up. And next we have also on the option for mobile. On mobile, we don't have it on the side, we have it either above or below. So here we can set the margin like so. And we can also adjust the width of the image like that. And these we already reviewed. So let's go back to desktop. And now let's go to the main settings by clicking over here. So we have section title, which is right over here. We can change this to however, whatever text you want. Same goes for subtitle. If you want to change the HTML element, you can select the text and change it here to heading 1, 2, 3, or 4, or all the way to 6. Same thing with subtitle. If you don't want a subtitle, you can just get rid of it, just like that. And then you have a text block, which is right over here. And you have a button. And then you can set the link to it however you'd like. If you don't want a button, just leave it blank, just like that. Next, we have option to set background color. So if we set the background color, we can add the color like so. We have a maximum width of the entire section. So if we lower it, you can see we're just lowering the entire block however you want. Like that. And if we set up here section width to full width, so you can see that the background goes all the way to the edges, while the maximum width still controls the width of the content, of the entire content area. Like that. All right. Next, we have margins and padding for the section. So margin is a space above or below, outside of the section. So if you have another section above, you can move it. You can move it farther away. You can move this one farther away in the bottom. Horizontal padding. It's not as relevant when you're in full screen. If we're back in regular mode, then you see the spacing here. That's the space within. So we can increase that spacing, the spacing at the top and the space at the bottom, just like that. Let's just put this back to full screen for full width for now. And then we have the same settings for the mobile version. As you can see here, we also have horizontal padding, and we have top padding, bottom padding, you can see, and we also have the margins as well. Moving on, text area styling. So text area is the entire text area. So here we can also, excuse me, give a background color. Let's give it a lighter color, like something like that. We can add a corner radius to it too as well. A little bit more so we can see the differences there. And here too, we have padding, so we can give more space to all sides of the section. Of course, if you don't want a background color, you could just get rid of it, just like that. We'll keep it here for the sake of just seeing the differences that it creates. And then we also have the padding for mobile version, so it could be separate. So this is what I was talking about earlier, the media width. So if you want this area to be much bigger, you could just increase that, just like so. And then, of course, if this gets all scrunched up, but you want this big image, then you can scroll right back up here to the section horizontal padding and reduce that, like that. And you can also increase the maximum width. Of course, you can make it also much smaller. However, it looks good to you. We have an option for the gap between this area and that area, so you can increase that so there'll be more space between. And you can swap directions, just like that. We have the same settings for the mobile version, so media width, we can make the image smaller. It's default at 100%, but we can do that. Let's keep it at 100 for now. And then we can increase the gap here. As you can see, there's not enough gap. And as we see here, the padding all here is 0. So since we're already here, let's just increase the padding. There we go. Moving on. Oh, also in media, we can adjust the positioning. So here we have the media above the text. We can swap them and have the text and then the image. Back to section text styling. So now we have alignment. So we have it center, left, center, or right. Same for mobile. Now we have styling for the text itself, for the typography. So here too, we can change the colors however we'd like of it. We can choose a custom font. So if we choose this and then we go in here and let's say we'll choose this font. Now here we have an option to put in CSS declaration of the font if you have a manually installed font that's not listed in this long list that Shopify provides. It's a little bit more advanced, but you can find this CSS in the CSS files of your theme and then paste it right in there and it'll use that font. Like so. Let's just put that back. Then we can also select the font weight, so we can make that thinner. We can add bottom margin to give more space, whatever we'd like. Font size, we can make that smaller if we'd like. Line height, not as important here, not as relevant, because line height is only when you have multiple lines, and usually these little subtitles are short, but you have that option if you need it, and you have an option for letter spacing, and then you have these margins, font size, line height, and letter spacing for mobile as well. The same exact settings we have for the section title. So here too, we can adjust the colors, the font. I won't get into that because it's the same. We have top margin as well, so you can adjust the top margin to give more space instead of the bottom margin here. You can do both, however you'd like. And then bottom margin to give more space between the title and the text block. We have font size, line height, and letter spacing as well, and same for mobile. And again, lastly, we have the options for the text block here. You can change the colors. You can do all of the same settings as we've done for the title and the subtitle, the margins, the font size, and everything like so. And last but not least, we have button. So with the button here, we can change the font. We can change the font weight, maximum width of the button itself. We can make it much bigger. We can make it much smaller. Button width, I'll give it a width, and I'll show you in a minute how to fix that. Border radius, we can make those borders round. We can give some more space right over here. Horizontal padding and vertical padding. So vertical padding like that. Horizontal padding is just a little bit of play between the length of the text, the maximum width that you have available. So as you can see here, we have quite a bit of padding, so we can lower that, and we have a smaller button, like so. But when you do maximum width, then the horizontal padding isn't as visible. We have these options, the button top margin for mobile as well. Then we have font size and letter spacing, same for mobile. And then we have colors here. So in colors, We have an option to choose a background color. So let's say we'd like it blue, or if we want to have it transparent, we can do that and then choose text color like so. And then we have that border. And then we have the hover option here, so the colors. So we have the black, and we have a white background, white color, text color, and the border color. We can even change the border color on the hover, so it'll give something like, even if we get rid of that, there we go. As you can see, sorry, choose blue. So we have that option as well. So there's various options with that. So that's it. I hope this section helps you improve your website and increase your sales. If you have any issues, any problems, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via the support section on our website. Thanks and take care.